The Sorcerer is a class for those that aren't a fan of talking their way out of a situation. If you want soul-destroying draconic abilities and death-defying spells, then this is certainly the class for you. Your character isn't one who needs to learn spells or train up. Instead, they have the magic inherited from a special bloodline. This is a class built around dealing damage, and with the right build, you can deal devastating AoE attacks to help your outnumbered party. Of course, with a game with as much choice as Baldur's Gate 3, picking the right class is incredibly important, and when you get into the weeds of it, this can get very complicated. Thankfully, we're here to help you find the best possible build that you can and get you started off in the early game and up to the mid game. Of course, a lot of the fun of D&D is making your own character and your own mistakes, but if you want a little head start, here's the best possible thing you can do. If you're already familiar with the game, then you'll know that the Sorcerer has 3 specific subclasses: the Wild Magic, Draconic Bloodline, and Storm Sorcery. For the uninitiated though, let me quickly run through what those 3 subclasses are. If you choose the Draconic Bloodline subclass, your veins will carry Draconic Magic, which is the result of a very powerful dragon ancestor. It'll give you 2 subclass features, Draconic Resilience and Draconic Resilience hit points. The first of which gives you dragon-like scales that cover parts of your skin, and when you aren't wearing armor, then your base armor class is 13, giving you a big boost in defensive abilities. For the hit points one though, your maximum hit points increases by 1 for each Sorcerer level, giving you a solid boost as you level up. If you're looking to be more of a weatherman though, then maybe the Storm Sorcery subclass would be for you. Whether that's crackling with the energy of ancient delusions or pierced by gales and hurricanes, your lineage in this subclass is a strange tapestry scrawled by a Tempest. This subclass only has one unique feature though, and that's Tempestor's Magic. This allows you to fly around after you cast a level 1 spell or higher. This works as a bonus action without receiving opportunity attacks. The final subclass is Wild Magic, in which your powers will come from ancient forces of chaos. They churn within you, wanting to burst free at any time. It is the perfect class for those of you that have got a bit of, anger built up inside of you. Just like the first subclass, this has 2 special features: Tides of Chaos and Wild Magic. Wild Magic is whenever you cast a level 1 spell or above, your magic has a chance to surge and trigger a random magical effect, creating chaos across the battlefield. Tides of Chaos though allows you to activate and gain advantage on your next attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, and there's also an increased chance of Wild Magic surge straight afterwards, again creating more chaos on the battlefield. Now, while all 3 of those subclasses have their own unique buffs and benefits, we feel that the best subclass you could pick is the Wild Magic Sorcerer and get that chaos running through your veins. Just like I said at the start, the whole point of the Sorcerer class is to deal as much damage as possible, and the Wild Magic subclass allows you to do that and create a bit more chaos alongside it. Getting advantage on your rolls with a bonus action is a huge deal in combat, and the effects of the Wild Magic Surge can be truly devastating on enemies if you get lucky enough. Of course, picking a subclass isn't the only thing you need to pick when making your character, so here is our best options and the things that you should pick for each section. For your race, you need to pick either a half-elf, half-high elf, or even a firebolt. For your cantrip, that's Acid Splash, Bone Chill, Friends, and True Strike. For your 2 spells, you should pick Chromatic Orb and Magic Missile. For your background, pick Acolyte. Your skill proficiencies should be Arcana and Protection, and then let's quickly break down where your ability points should be going in each section. You should have 8 Strength, 13 Dexterity, 15 Constitution, 12 Intelligence, 10 Wisdom, and 17 Charisma. All of this should perfectly craft a damage-heavy Sorcerer build. Of course, you can respec this build at any time, so this is just a good way to start things off and get a head start on the game. As things start to progress though, here are the best choices that you can make for the first 4 levels in the game. When you hit level 2, you should pick the Fog Cloud spell and the Meta Magic Careful spell and Meta Magic Twin spell as your 2 class passives. For level 3, you should pick the Scorching Ray spell and the Meta Magic Quicken spell as your class passive. And finally, for level 4, your cantrip should be Dancing Lights, your spell should be Gust of Wind, and your feat should be Ability Improvement plus 2 Charisma. Charisma is so important for a Sorcerer, so the more you have, the more damage you should be dealing. There's so many important early game fights, and having a build that is so damage heavy will help you whip through those with no trouble at all. You won't have to talk your way or flirt your way out of a situation at all, and instead you can just wreck through the Baldur's Gate 3 world the best way possible, dealing as much damage as possible. Let us know how this works for you or what build you picked in the comments below, and make sure you stick right here for more content all around Baldur's Gate 3.